Hi, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Finn.
And welcome to Creature Cove. Today, we're gonna be introducing you guys to somebody. Finn, who are we introducing?
Harold Jump.
Finn, who are we introducing today?
Harold Jumpy Jumperton.
Oh my gosh, and what or who is Harold Jumpy Jumperton?
He is a jumping spider.
How did we get our jumping spider?
On Thanksgiving, he was just a giant spider on our ceiling.
He was. It was after we were eating, we're all sitting around, and my son Jake looks up at the ceiling and says, "Hey Mom, is that a jumping spider?" And I was like, "What? Where?" So I went outside and grabbed our really long pole that we have that has like a brush at the end for like getting cobwebs and stuff out of tall spots. And I very gently kind of coaxed him on to the bristles of the brush, and he came up right away and down, and we picked him up off of the bristles, and I put him into an enclosure. I'm so excited. So the reason I'm super excited is because we've been going to the reptile expos forever, and slowly but surely they've been kind of like the jumping spider has been like making its way into the reptile scene. So we would see jumping spiders at like one booth here and there, and now they're like at every single expo that we've gone to. And what sold me on jumping spiders was actually the fact that I fell in love with their enclosures. Some of these people are so crafty and inventive and just creative, and they make the cutest enclosures for these guys. And for these guys, you don't have to worry too much about specific, like, oh, you can't use this and you can't use that and you can't have that. So you can use a lot of like little figurines and all different mosses and stuff like that in their enclosures, and you can make just some spectacular looking enclosures, which is where we're headed with this, because that's what I'm gonna try to do today. So I did a lot of shopping.
We have so much stuff to look at.
I originally put our guy in it's an Exoterra, our little Exoterra tank that sometimes we used to use for our hatchling geckos, but I hate it. I mean, I love the enclosure itself. I hate it for our little Jumpy Jumperton, because he just gets up into the corner and then you can't even see him. So I wanted to do something a little different, so I hopped onto YouTube, did a bunch of research. I watched a lot of Tarantula Cat and a couple other people and their how-tos and whatnot, and I learned everything I could. And so now I'm gonna kind of compile it together for you guys as I try my hardest to make my way through building my own enclosure. So here we go. Okay, so I went online, and after doing my research, found that I really think I liked the tarantula cribs enclosures the best. They just seemed like, I knew I hated the top opening enclosures because you're ripping off their web every time. It was just not practical, but these seem to think of everything, and I just really liked the look of them. The acrylic that they use is super clear, so it's really nice. You can really see in there. And so what did we order?
A 9-inch understory kit.
The 9-inch understory kit is what we got. So it's 2 pieces because it comes with a regular lid, so it makes a cube. And then instead of the cube, or instead of the flat lid, you can also get like a roof. To me, it looks like the roof of a house. It's so adorable. So we went with that. Let me show you. It came like beautifully packaged. I really like this company. I've never done anything with them before, not sponsored or anything like that. I just really like them. It came perfectly packaged, really safe, super fast. Like I ordered it, and I think like 2-3 days later, I think just 2 days later, I got it. So, oh my gosh. Let me get it out of its plastic. Do you want to open that one?
Sure.
So let me tell you, after I did all the research and whatnot for the jumping spiders, I had actually written off getting one, because I was like, I have plenty of animals to take care of, even though these guys would be like the least amount of care that I would give to an animal. I was just like, no, we'll get something else and I'll make it cute or whatever. I don't need the enclosure. The fact that like only a few days after I had done all the research and then written off getting one, just not being the time for us to have one. We find it on the ceiling, which I had never seen. They're very common around here, but I had never seen one by us or in our house. So for us to see one was incredible. And I was like, all right, it's a sign. So that's our story. So we're gonna take this, oh, they're magnets. Ooh, so they close with magnets, that's adorable. So we're gonna take off the normal lid and we're going to put on this lid. Oh, so it's this way. Okay, so it's this very cute little house. So hopefully our spider will do the web up above where you have to lift off the lid. And so we won't be ruining any webs. The web will just stay up there. Plus, as you'll see, I got so much decor and shelves and little things for them to, like little hides for them to go in and make their own little nest, that maybe he won't even be making his own little nest, or hammock, they call them, little hammocks outside of his little hides. So let me show you now that we have our enclosure, let me show you all the stuff I bought. The first place we went is the Dollar Tree. So I figured we'll put most of the money into the enclosure so we can use it again and it'll look nice and it'll be functional. And even though our spider was free, I still wanted it to have a great home. So we wanted to spend less money on the decor. And while you can get some incredible things on Etsy, I love Etsy for stuff like this, a lot of it was stuff that I think we could kind of DIY ourselves. Also, it's Christmas, and if you happen to know me and my family, we are giant Christmas freaks. So I wanted to do a Christmas theme, and so I knew the stuff wasn't gonna stay in there that long. It'll be in there like 2 months, and then I'll have to change it to a different theme, a spring theme, or Valentine's Day or whatnot. But Dollar Store has very cute things. They have these very small village people. So we've got like a mailbox, a guy sitting on a bench, Santa, snowman, and lampposts. I was playing around with cutting off some of these pom-poms and using them as like snowballs or just snow on the bottom, because I wasn't sure, like I don't think it would be safe to put the actual like fake snow with the, the little bit, you know what it's called, okay, anyway. So I thought maybe little pom-poms, and because it's Christmas, they didn't have any real little ones left. So I have to try to makeshift something cute. So we'll try that. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Also, like what's Christmas without Christmas lights? So I figured somehow like on the outside or inside, probably the outside of the enclosure, since we have to miss the enclosure, we will, who doesn't have Christmas lights on their house? So Christmas lights we got. Also twine, so I can possibly like braid it and create bridges from platforms, which we're going to make. Wind it around things. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if this is for this time or a different time, but they have these very cute mushrooms. I also love mushrooms, so anytime I find little mushrooms, I probably buy them. And so I might put like little magnets on them and put them on the sides as shelves, something like that. And then I also got this piece of wood, which I'll have my husband cut little ledges so that we can build ledges and platforms for them to jump from, spot to spot. And that's the other thing I love about these guys, is they're not like tarantulas or other forms of other species of spiders, which will just sit there and do nothing. They'll find one spot and just live there their whole life and come out to eat, and that's the only time you see them. Jumping spiders will use every inch of their enclosure. They will explore and they will communicate with you via their little legs and stuff. So I really wanted to give them the best, most space they can to play around on. All right, now last thing from the Dollar Store, we got like little presents and little ornaments and teeny tiny little snowy Christmas trees. All right, so that does it for what we got from the Dollar Store. Let's move on to Amazon. Our Amazon purchases are these super cute, because we're doing like a Christmas wintry theme, these super cute
Tiny houses.
They might be too small, I'm not too sure, but there was 4 of them, so maybe I can do like a whole village. And I got the magnets that I will use to attach things to the bottoms and the sides of the tanks. also from Amazon, and I'll link everything that I got from Amazon in the description. This is an exciting thing. Look at how beautiful this box is. These very cute butterflies, very springy, which is not what I'm after, but I needed this grass. It is amazing. It's fake grass. It looks better to me than like AstroTurf, but I think it's just like, it's a felt on the back and then just this beautiful, very realistic looking grass that I want to use on the bottom.
Touch it.
Oh, you want to touch it? Very cool. Then we went to Hobby Lobby. We got these, I'm so excited about these. They are pre-cut little twigs that I want to cut down and glue on, not glue on, but magnet on sides. And then he has little, you know, little jumping spots, stairs per se. So those are cute. Oh, and then I got a smaller one in case the bigger one was too big for that. You can never have too much stuff. Plus I'll return what I don't use. Popsicle sticks, we'll definitely use popsicle sticks to make the platforms I'm thinking about, which I stole from somebody else that creates enclosures. I don't know, it was on sale and it was cute and I was like, oh, it's twisty and cool and maybe he would love to play in it because I thought of like playgrounds. I don't know.
We got this very cute tiny pots that we could make a hideout of.
I do have to do some research and figure out if we can paint them somehow and seal them to protect them against water and make sure it's non-toxic for the spider. We have all different sizes and thicknesses of these little tree branches, I guess, that were cut. And again, I'll have my husband cut some of these to make ledges that we can magnet to the sides. We have this very awesome moss ribbon, and actually, what is it called? Because it took me forever to figure out what this was, and they actually call it floral ribbon garland. So if you ever need to look up where to get that, that's what it's referred to as in the ribbon world. And this is perfect for them for little bridges from places to place or to pin against the sides so that they can climb, because as they get older, they will have a hard time sticking to sides. So you want to make sure you kind of cover them with stuff so they can grab a hold nice and tight. We also got this very cute door ornament in case none of my houses end up working. I have this to go to and we could just put that in there. I bought this ribbon because I thought it kind of looked like branches or trees so that I can wrap our ledges or stands in. And very cute tiny wreaths in case we need wreaths. We went to our local reptile shop, which I absolutely love. We have so much cool stuff. We're so lucky to have them. So we got sphagnum moss in case we need that. We also figured just rocks from around. If we want some rocks in there, we could do that. Make sure they're secure so nothing falls on your spideys. So just all things small that will fit into the enclosure and look cute. Let's get started, guys. So what I'm gonna start with, I think, is the grass part first. So I just need to, I thought it actually came in these little already pre-cut squares, but they didn't quite fit into our enclosure, so I need to measure and cut them down, and they measured 5.5 by 5.5 cube. All right, so I gotta cut this down a wee bit. Whoop.
Hey, stay tuned for detailed instruction and some amazing facts about jumping spiders.
Okay, now now that we have our grass in there, let's go to, I don't even know, what should I do next? Let's try to figure out our house situation. So let's try and see. Oh heavens, those are tiny, tiny, tiny. Oh no, they're cute though, right? Maybe I'll do like 2 houses. Okay, so let's, oh, the other thing we want, I'm opting to use hot glue. I use the Gorilla Glue brand. of hot glue and it seems to work. Next, I think I want to figure out the snow situation. Is this going to be a Midwest type of winter or is this going to be a California winter with no snow? I really want there to be snow, and so I am going to now go through the tedious process of cutting off all these pom-poms and putting them in here. Bear with me.
As you can clearly see here, I am just thoroughly enjoying cutting these balls off the stupid string, so let me amaze you with our first very cool fact. Did you know that over 6,380 species of jumping spider have been identified so far? This makes up 13% of all spider species, which means they are the largest family of spider out there.
All right, well that's all I'm gonna do with cutting off these ridiculous snowballs. Do yourself a favor, if you're gonna try this, just wait and buy pom-poms, because like the ones that aren't connected to a string, because that was ridiculous. So maybe we'll just do like piles of snow, like as if it was melting. Next, I guess I can see what kind of setup I want. Do I want a whole village? Do I want just a couple? I think I just want like 2 houses. And I think I want to do the houses instead of the ornament. So do I want the door instead of the houses? What do we think? What do we think? Oh, the door's pretty stinking cute. But so are the okay, let's move on. We'll table this and come back and figure that out. Let's do our platforms and some of the stuff that like I feel like has to be in here, like the stepping things and the wood pieces. And then we'll see what room we have left. And we might have to just go with the door stuck to the back instead of more stuff on the bottom. So let's go ahead and start with playing around with hides and platforms.
Let's begin by making the stands to our platforms. I'm starting with 5 popsicle sticks stacked together. I will attach 1 popsicle stick to each side using hot glue to complete a square shape. Then I'm going to wrap the green plant looking ribbon around the stand, attaching it also with hot glue. This ribbon isn't thick enough to wrap fully around the stand, so I just take another length and wrap it around in the opposite direction, making sure to completely cover the stand. Here comes another fact for you. Jumping spiders are found everywhere in the world except for the Arctic and the Antarctic. They can even look totally different based on their location while still maintaining their very cute eye positioning that they're best known for. Moving right along, here I'm taking 2 popsicle sticks and hot gluing them into an X shape and cutting them down to a more manageable size. For the top of the platforms, originally I was thinking of using the wooden plank that we got from the Dollar Tree, but I decided I really like the natural look of the wood rounds even more. So pop those on the top of the stand using a good amount of hot glue to ensure that they are very secure. Then to hide all of our happy little accidents, we hot glue that beautiful green moss all over it. I'm also bringing it down and around the stand for a bit of aesthetic purposes. This is the start of our second stand build. I completed this by following the exact same process as the first build. I did, however, cut these popsicle sticks in half to create a shorter platform. Jumping spiders sleep, like actually sleep. Unlike any other spider in the world, jumping spiders enter the REM stage. This is the stage of sleep that allows you to dream. While we can't be sure if they do dream, it's super cool to think about what they would dream about. And maybe it's all that sleep that they're getting that allows them to be so smart. These little guys are the smartest of all spiders. They harness the power to learn. While this doesn't sound that impressive, just realize that none of the other spider species have the seemingly normal characteristic. Jumpers can learn from their mistakes, reevaluate a situation, and try again. There is a species of jumping spider in Africa that has the ability called object permanence. Humans don't even unlock this power till they're like 8 months old. This is an ability that allows the jumper to keep hunting an item of prey, even if it's already out of sight and they can't sense it any longer. Back to the build, I'm bringing my enclosure back out with my platforms, and I really want to try and connect the platforms with a super cute twine and leaf ribbon to create a sort of bridge. So using that again, I hot glue the ribbon onto the bottom of each platform and then add a bit of moss to cover the unsightly glue mess. This is the point of the operation that I realized that hot glue does not stick to the magnets. Now, I went on my Facebook jumping spider groups and asked them what glue works best for these magnets, and everybody said Gorilla Hot Glue. I mentioned that it wasn't working for me, and they all said I was crazy, but that I could use E6000 and let it dry for a few days, letting the smell dissipate before putting it in the enclosure. So that's exactly what I did, and it worked perfectly. I measured out the length I needed for the moss ribbon to cover the back wall, and using the E6000, I attached the smallest of the magnets. In a moment of genius, I noticed that the wreaths are the same size as the opening of the pot. Slap the wreath onto the front and the magnets onto the back with hot glue. I go back later and replace the magnets using E6000 though. Next, I asked my husband to cut the sticks into halves and thirds and some of the wood discs in half using a scroll saw that we borrowed from my dad. Thanks, Daddy-O. Using E6000, attach a medium magnet to one side of your stick steps and attach another medium magnet to the center of the flat part of your half discs. Repeat using as many as you'd like to add to your enclosure. All right, fact time. Jumping spiders have the best eyesight of all spiders. Each set of eyes are used for something different, but collectively allow them to have an almost 360-degree view. The furthest pair from the front are the posterior lateral eyes and are used as motion detectors, detecting movement to the sides and rear of the spider. The posterior median eyes allow these cuties to see a large range of light, including blue light and ultraviolet light. The anterior lateral eyes distinguish small details and colors, and that brings us right up into those big ol' eyes smack in the center. Those are the anterior median eyes, which are the most advanced of an eye in the arachnid world. They are the only set of movable eyes and work almost like little telescopes. This set has an advantage of image defocus, which I can't explain here, but I strongly recommend doing some research into this feature. It's super cool. For the last few seconds, I have been playing around to find the perfect setup I'd like to use. I did find that the tiny houses and mailbox were being overtaken by the snowballs, so I just glued a snowball onto the four corners of each house and the mailbox. This created the lift we needed. I also wanted to mention that my way cool facts came from a YouTube channel called Yukon, and he goes way more into depth about those facts than I did. Plus includes way more in his episode on jumping spiders. Seriously, very awesome.
Final product, guys, what do we think? I think it's amazing. I am super, super happy with it. I think it's adorable. I put this like little wreath in there for his little hidey hut and his little stuff. I just love it. I think it turned out great. I secured everything down, basically just hot glued everything, pushed it into place, and the only thing I left was the pom-pom balls, and I figured maybe it'll be like a ball pit for him. I'm not sure, but I'll probably have to feed him. The only thing wrong with this I thought of is his food. So I'll probably have to feed him straight from tongs so that like the mealworms or crickets don't go down under that. But it's not permanent. This will all come up and he'll go back to his regular grass for spring once springtime hits. Otherwise, that's it. That's our build. Super easy, super fun. I want to thank all of the YouTubers that I stole ideas from, and Tarantula Cribs for making such amazing enclosures. And it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it all over again. Until next time, we'll see you guys. Bye. I should have said happy holidays.